And I do want to ask you this before we wrap up, because it seems like there's a little bit of an assault on this idea of divinity. If divinity gives us power, if divinity gives us a higher calling, it also allows us to break free of control. It allows us to be free to do what we truly want, where I think we can agree there are some that do not want that. They want to control us. They want to remove our divinity. And I know a lot of people, Greg Braden, Dr. Bruce Lipton, Marianne Williamson, are talking about right now, we're in a little bit of a spiritual war where there are people that want to strip us of that divinity, want to make us more mechanistic, want to actually implant computers within us that will start to lose our divinity. How do you feel about that? How do you counter that in a world where so much social media, big tech, big pharma, big government, all of these things seem to be wanting us with less divinity, less control, less health, less freedom? What's the best way in your mind to counter that in a world that is so complicated right now?
So, yes, this is also in the book, but I think knowing that we have a choice, that we have our will, and our will is also a gift, which makes, being human super special, because when we understand that we have that divine governance within us to choose in what we engage in, which is in this book. So engaging in the media, I don't do ever. Engaging in a lot of supernatural, materialistic conversations in the world, wars, all these things, I don't engage in it. Because like I said, the way I was able to cultivate a better relationship around my divinity was to really make the choice that I was going to go all in with my divinity. And that was that. So staying away from public arenas that really try to manipulate or create that input, it's all a choice. Whether you want to be living in the center of a huge city with all that noise that deflects you from any silence, that's a choice. We don't need to do that. We could be in quietude in nature. And if you are in that, for whatever reason, we all have our own situations and sometimes we're dealt certain cards. Definitely constantly tune into the higher state of self, whether you believe in it or not, that you are that. Number one, of course, the belief and the faith that you are is the energy which energizes the emotions, which create the thoughts that then become materialistic or materialize into manifestations, the belief and the faith around it. But surround yourself with beautiful people. And if you don't have beautiful people around you, then remove yourself from them as much as possible, even if it's family, but put boundaries. And it's nothing offensive, but just make yourself a priority, at least until you can be so well in your knowing and so strong and courageous in your own strength of your divinity that nothing can penetrate you anymore. So how I do it is every day I wake up and I am divinity. I am spirit. And it is spirit that governs my thoughts. And even before I go into anything or before I make a decision, I will literally sit down, take 3 deep, long breaths, connect to spirit, and just say, please guide this conversation. Please guide my words. Please be the resonance of my voice. Divine God, spirit, whatever it is, be my words. I am the word of the truth. And, and I know it seems very simple, but right there and then, the power in that knowing is the power of being. We start to transcend because our energy is attached to a higher state of self as opposed to the lower state of self. And energy is instantaneous. There is no gridlock on it. So again, it's that power to really just command. Like you can command what will happen and will not from moment to moment. The problem is we're too tired to do it. We're not aware of it. and we're definitely not in presence enough to command. So being in command by literally dictating and commanding, whether it's a sickness in your body, whether it's an act in a moment, whether it's somebody else around you, when somebody else around you is condemning you, I love you. In your mind, you don't have to say it to them because that's really hard to do. But, and then that energy, you just shifted the energy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the healing. It's that divine essence of power that comes in because you're in power. The outside forces cannot penetrate that light. It's too strong, the light.
Yeah, no, it's wonderful advice, and it truly is that simple. And if you're listening, just do that. Take a few seconds, take a few deep breaths, and simply ask yourself, try and ask to connect to divinity, and just be one with it and ask questions and see what pops up, right? It's like you said, energy is instantaneous. Usually that first thought, that first yes, no, give it a binary question, or anything. And what comes up right away is usually that is energy unbridled and everything. Then usually what people do is doubt, right? That comes later.
That's right.
That is your human mind. That is your monkey mind going, no, maybe it's this. And then you start to say, wait, which one is it? It's the first one. Trust me, disconnect. The monkey mind will always come in. Doubt comes in later and usually talks you out of things that are in your best interest. And we do that over and over in life. We talk ourselves out of things. Don't let yourself do that. So I found the book really, really good to kind of show that it is that simple. It will come to you if you create the space for it to come to you. And that can be a few seconds only. It's not this hours and hours in a cave, as you said, with other Tibetan monks around to help you. No. That's not necessary.
Although those are interesting experiences, but
they can be amazing, right?
I love all those other alternative experiences. They're all stunning and beautiful. But it really is a simplistic form. And it's like you said, this exterior world and these forces that are penetrating and manipulating us to be other than self, other than true essence. This is the chaos and the noise, but it's a game. And we have to be able to play the game, because if we're not on top of it, we're going to be taken under in our own self and in our own essence. And all that noise from our exterior world is deflecting us from that silence within us, because it's an intuition. We have all the answers we need. We have the creative forces within us. It's just we live in a very loud humanity right now, and we can't hear it. That's it.